Imagine walking down the bustling streets of Tokyo, one of the most populous cities on Earth. Neon signs flash overhead, trains whoosh by, and people move in a quiet, efficient rhythm. But something feels odd. You realize you've been carrying an empty coffee cup for 20 minutes, and there's nowhere to throw it away. Where are all the trash bins? And yet, despite this apparent lack, the city is immaculate. There's no litter. No overflowing bins. No plastic bags dancing in the wind. So how can a city this massive, this active, be this clean, without public trash bins on every corner? Today, we're diving into the cultural mystery of why Japan is so obsessively clean, and what it tells us about Japanese society at large. The terrorist attack that removed Japan's trash bins. Let's start with a moment that changed everything. On March 20, 1995, Tokyo experienced one of its most traumatic events in modern history. Members of the Aum Shinrikyo cult released sarin gas on several subway lines, killing 13 people and injuring more than 6,000 others. In response, Japanese authorities removed most public trash bins, especially in transit stations, out of fear they could be used to hide explosives or toxic substances. But something strange happened next. The city didn't become dirtier. It stayed clean. In most other cities, removing trash bins would mean garbage everywhere. But in Japan, people quietly adapted. They simply carried their trash home. The deep cultural roots of cleanliness. To understand why this happened, we have to go back to the roots of Japanese upbringing. In Japan, children are taught from a very young age to clean their own classrooms. That's right. There are no janitors in many Japanese schools. Students are responsible for sweeping floors, emptying bins, wiping desks, and even cleaning toilets. From the start, they learn this powerful lesson. If you create a mess, you clean it up. This attitude follows them into adulthood. In Japanese society, littering isn't just seen as lazy, it's shameful. It means you're being inconsiderate, disturbing the harmony of others, and disrupting the shared space. In a society that values group harmony, meiwaku, causing trouble for others, is something to be avoided at all costs. So people don't litter because they are afraid of a fine. They don't litter because they care what others think. The art of sorting trash. But cleanliness in Japan goes beyond not littering. It enters the realm of ritual and responsibility. Trash in Japan must be meticulously sorted. There are often 5, 6, or more categories, including burnable waste, non-burnable waste, PET plastic bottles, aluminum cans and glass, paper and cardboard, electronics and oversized items. Each category has a specific collection day, and if you mix them up, or put them out too early, your trash might be left behind, with a polite note reminding you to do better next time. It's not unusual for Japanese households to rinse out yogurt containers or plastic trays before throwing them away. Why? Because someone will have to handle it later. Someone else's job becomes easier because of your effort. That's empathy in action, built into the waste disposal system. Cleanliness as a philosophy, the idea of kirei. What sets Japan apart is that cleanliness isn't just a habit, it's a philosophy. In Japanese, the word kirei means both clean and beautiful. Keeping a space clean isn't just hygienic, it's an aesthetic and even spiritual act. This is deeply rooted in concepts like Zen Buddhism, which values simplicity, silence, and clarity. A clean room is a quiet mind. A swept floor is a symbol of inner balance. There's also the concept of wabi-sabi, the appreciation of imperfection and impermanence. A humble, well-used teacup on a clean wooden table tells a story. There's elegance in simplicity. And cleanliness is the foundation that allows that elegance to shine. So when a Japanese person wipes the table, takes off shoes before entering the house, or sweeps a temple courtyard, it's not just about sanitation, it's about respect. Respect for the space. Respect for others. Respect for oneself. A society that runs on trust and responsibility. Here's the most fascinating part. There are few rules forcing this behavior. No government watchdog. No constant policing. And yet, it works. People eat in parks and clean up after themselves. After massive festivals, volunteers gather to collect every bit of waste. Commuters bring empty bento boxes home rather than leave them behind. Why? Because they believe it's their responsibility. It's not about avoiding punishment. It's about maintaining trust. In Japan, the public space is everyone's living room. That's why it's respected. That's why it stays clean. Lessons for the world. So what can the rest of us learn from this? It's tempting to think Japan is clean because it's wealthy or high-tech. But that's not it. Plenty of wealthy countries have trash problems. Plenty of cities have more trash bins, more sanitation workers, more fines, and still struggle. What Japan shows us is that cleanliness begins not with infrastructure, but with mindset. When people take ownership, when they learn from a young age to care for their space and think of others, they don't need rules. They act out of respect. Clean streets are the result of clean intentions. Ending tease the next episode. So the next time you find yourself holding a coffee cup in Tokyo with nowhere to throw it, remember, this isn't a flaw in the system. It is the system. And it's working beautifully. But Japan isn't the only place with cultural surprises. In our next episode, we'll explore a tiny country in the heart of Europe. It's surrounded by global powers, has stood neutral through world wars, and remains one of the richest, most peaceful countries on Earth. Why is Switzerland always neutral? And how do they stay out of conflict while thriving economically? It's a story of clever strategy, geography, and a very unique mindset. Hit follow so you don't miss it.